Hi guys, it's Patricia from ahavenlife just coming to you today because we are going to go ahead and do our series that I promised about limited beliefs. And why I'm doing this is to really set the foundation as we walk into our 2020 year. For you guys who really want this to blow out and set some really amazing changes this year, the one thing we have to start to do is address our own limited beliefs, including my own. So I'm sharing with you what I'm going to be doing, what I have done, and where I think I can really hone in and start to grow in that way. And I want you guys to grow with me because as I grow, you grow. As I learn, you learn. So here goes. So let's talk about limited beliefs and what they are, how they start. So from about birth to the age of 7, we are absorbing everything around us. That includes all these wonderful things that we are born into, whether it be a family unit or a different kind of structure. But whatever we're born into, we are absorbing everything so that we don't have to be taught it. We're just looking and learning and absorbing and trying to figure out, oh, okay, this is a tradition. We do this every year. This is a family kind of behavior. We are jokers. We're not jokers. We are a certain kind of faith. We are not a certain kind of faith. Whatever that looks like for you, that is our belief system. And those are wonderful things. We bring some great traditions. We start to learn a lot. Language, so there's all these great things. There's also some things that as we get older, we might struggle a little bit because along with those wonderful traditions and beliefs came some limited beliefs. Some of those limitations and limited beliefs tend to be surrounded about very specific things like abundance, money. Others might be about certain ethnicities. Others might be about relationships, friendships, your spouses, all that stuff, about health, about your wellness. It also might be about this is who I'm supposed to be, right? So that might be a limited belief because if that's not who you are, but you're supposed to be living up to an expectation, then that might be a difficult thing to have to really break through. So I'm just giving you some examples of what limited beliefs surround, what they tend to be affected by. So what we're going to do is talk about this next week. We're going to dream a little bit. I want you guys to dream about the things you want to accomplish in 2020 that you feel that you have been holding back on for some time. And I mean, whether it be going back to school, whether it be studying something new, whether it be book reading, I don't know, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to dream a little bit and I want you to dream about it. And then I want you to listen to what your body is saying to you, your mind and your body, because they are both going to be talking to you about this. And that's identifying what those beliefs are. So this week's homework is identifying what they are and what you need to do. Just write them down. That's it. That's your homework, is write them down, recognize them, know that they exist. Let me give you some examples of my own limited beliefs so that you can kind of have something to work with. Growing up, I knew that I was the only woman in my family that did not struggle with diabetes. And because of that, I went to the doctor, explained to the doctor everything that had happened in my family history, and whether it be by heart disease or, whether they passed away from diabetes or complications thereof, right? So I explained all of that, and the doctor sat me down and he says, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when for you when it comes to diabetes. And I was like, wow, I was devastated. I was probably in my 20s at this point going, oh my gosh, so I'm gonna genetically pass this on to my children. And I was very upset, to be honest. But I'll tell you, I actually worked past that. And I did actually get diabetes. I had limited beliefed myself into actually triggering that specific gene. And, but I also was able to reverse it. So I'm going to tell you guys how I was able to do that in the next series as we continue forward. Another one was education. Okay, so this was my own creation, honestly, and I had done it to myself. The other one was from family history, genetics, and all that. This was me. I have dyslexia, and I grew up not knowing that. So back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you're growing up and they didn't really identify that people had dyslexia. And if you did, it had to be a very severe form of it. So for me, I didn't get diagnosed until I was almost in college. It was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. But in terms of test taking, I would bomb every time. However, in class, I would do really well. I actually absorbed the information. I am very intelligent, so I would do very, very well with classes. However, when I took a test, and if my classes depended on a high grade in testing, I would not do well with it. So, in my own internal belief system, I started to believe that I was not a good student, that I was just don't even bother with college, that kind of thing, that I had told myself that I wasn't going to be good enough. And I had told myself that for many, many years. Well, I believed that I wanted to help people, and I wanted to do that by learning about wellness and health. I wanted to learn that about being a life coach. But every time I would come into that step and saying, okay, I'm going to take the classes, I'm going to do this little thing that popped into my head, it was like, well, Patricia, you're dyslexic, you're probably not going to do well. I didn't know I was telling myself that. So what I'm telling you this week is to pay attention to what your body's saying to you, because it's talking to you. Your mind and your body is saying something, and you need to listen to it. So that's your homework this week. As you dream about your 2020 plans and your 2020, whatever that looks like, and I hope they're big. So I want you to listen to that little monster that's talking to you in the background, telling you what you are not able to do. That, my friend, is called a limited belief. So we are here to break through them, at least stack it so that you now have the power to work through them and what you can do in the future. So again, we continue to grow past and learn, right? This year is my abundance year. I will be working on abundance very hard this year and making sure that I focus on those important things in my life and what that looks like for me. So anyways, guys, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this session about limited beliefs and identifying them. And then I'll be back next week. We're going to go ahead and talk about acceptance of those limited beliefs. Have a wonderful week ahead. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much. Bye.